discuss how the process will play out. Former law clerk for Justice Neil Gorsuch, former chief counsel for nominations for the Senate Judiciary Committee, and founder and president of Article 3 Project, Mike Davis. Mike, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so a lot of people are speculating about who this next pick is going to be. I want to play a clip and remind our viewers of something Biden has said about who he would pick. Listen.
I committed that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. It's required that they have representation now. It's long overdue.
All right, even Jen Psaki confirmed that today, that will still happen. So, Mike, let me ask you this, because a lot of people have floated the name of Ketanji Brown Jackson. She has already been talked about and confirmed for the D.C. Circuit Court last June from 3 Republicans. So, do you think how likely she is, or are there other people on the short list who you think will be at the top of Biden's pick?
I think Judge Jackson is certainly at the top of the list. She was a year ago elevated from the D.C. District Court, the federal trial court in D.C., up to the D.C. Court of Appeals, the second highest court in the land. She clerked for Justice Breyer. She's 51 years old, went to Harvard for undergrad, Harvard for law school. And we'll see at her confirmation hearing if she's the pick. We'll see if she's ready for the job.
Mike, how rude was it that they didn't wait for Breyer to make an announcement? They leaked this announcement. And, you know, Breyer's been this loyal soldier who waited till Biden got elected, a Democrat to get elected, to announce his retirement. I mean, I really feel like they threw this guy under the bus as a distraction from all their woes. It's just, as Lindsay said a moment ago, we'll talk about this a little later, they didn't even give him a chance to make his own announcement.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting what they did. This guy has been on the Supreme Court for 26 years. From a liberal perspective, he's been a solid Supreme Court justice for them. It is completely unprecedented to leak out that a Supreme Court justice is going to retire before he is allowed to make that announcement. I think there are some people who are still angry with Justice Breyer because he's shown independence. He stood up to the Democrats who are trying to pack the Supreme Court. He made the highly unusual public announcement of court packing. Justice Breyer is a good man. He was very good to Justice Gorsuch and his law clerks, including me, when we joined the Supreme Court. We may disagree with him on judicial philosophy, but there's no doubt that he's an independent justice and a good man.
Let me ask you about this, because obviously this is going to be a 1-for-1. The Supreme Court is 6-3 right now, with Trump having so many picks during his term. So will it have any impact at the end of the day?
That's just it. You're looking at that. President Trump was so successful at transforming the federal judiciary, including the Supreme Court. We went from the 5-4 John Roberts Court to the 5-4 Clarence Thomas Court. We are replacing one of 3 liberal justices with another liberal justice.
Yeah, it's just a push. All right, let's play the D.C. sort of parlor cocktail circuit Georgetown game. The White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, was asked today about this, will they appoint Kamala Harris? I think it's not going to happen, just so I'm clear about where I stand on this. But let's just play this out for a second. If they nominated Kamala Harris, she would need all 50 votes. It's a 50-50 Senate. Then as president of the Senate, she'd have to cast her own tie vote for herself. Then there would be a vacancy in the vice presidency. She'd then seemingly have to stick around to oversee the nomination of her own successor for vice president until that person, and then cast a tie to that person and then become the Supreme Court justice. Am I missing anything?
Well, you're also missing, then there would be 8 more vacancies on the Supreme Court if Kamala Harris is appointed. No, there's zero chance that Kamala Harris will. I think President Biden.
But don't you think that was stupid? I mean, here's what I don't get, Mike. I agree with you. I mean, it's dumb. It's like literally a bunch of people in Georgetown were like, what if it's Kamala Harris? I mean, he already said he'd running with her again. But I think for the White House press secretary not to say, hey, that's a dumb question, I'm moving on. Like, they ruled it in as if it's a possibility. That's stupid.
I mean, you worked at the White House, Sean. You know that this is not exactly the most competent White House, but I would say, I mean, if I were a Biden staffer, I would want to get rid of Kamala Harris too. She has proven to be
That's true.
utterly incompetent as a vice president.
Jen's probably looking at her notes like, hey, why did they add her name
Biden
on the list?
confirmed to keeping her last week, so I don't think anything's going to happen to her anytime soon. Mike, appreciate your insight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.